Today we are going to discuss the Malayalam film #Home. Let's start from the title #Home. Considering the theme of the film, the hashtag before the title seems very relevant and appropriate. Now, home is the place where we are ourselves. It is our own personal space, where it is not necessary to showcase our perfect and best side always. It is a place where we will not be judged at all. Home is not built by brick and mortar. It is built with unconditional love and bonding, where we are always welcome and accepted with all our faults. The best dialogue of the film sums it all up. I am always imperfect in my home. Don't you think we all are? The film is produced by Vijay Babu's Friday Film House. It is his first film to have a direct OTT release. It is written and directed by Rojin Thomas. The music is by Rahul Subramaniam. The music goes with the flow of the film, both the songs as well as the background score. The cinematography by Neil D. Kuncha, I hope I'm pronouncing it properly, needs special mention. He has captured the moods of every artist so beautifully. The lighting is so nice. It sort of reflects the mood of the film. Even the house, or rather the home where most of the film happens, looks so positive, and the color scheme, the angles he uses to exploit the location are simply beautiful. The art director in this film has done a wonderful job. The aesthetically set rooms, the slanting roof, the terrace garden needs special mention. It's so lush and green. We feel like plucking some of the vegetables and fruits and eating them. It is so real and beautiful. The cast of the film is perfect, especially the lead character of Indrans wins our hearts straight away. He plays the character of Oliver Twist. His two sons, Anthony and Charles, are played by Srinath Bhasi and Naslin Gafoor. Srinath's performance, his body language, which showcases a sort of a lazy look, and his hairstyle, his beard, everything, it's so apt for the character. Naslin again impresses us as Charles with his super bubbly performance. There are scenes where he is so natural that he scores better than Bhasi. Manju Pillai as the wife of Oliver Twist is a typical mother. Any middle class mother you can identify with. And I think this could be one of her best performances. The story revolves around Oliver Twist. Hats off to the director for casting Indrans, who was given the performance of a lifetime. He is of course a seasoned artist who has worked in about 400 films. His subtle expressions, his body language says it all without a single dialogue, and our heart goes out to him, and it translates into sympathy for him and then into tears in our eyes. He constantly tries to vibe with his son and win his affection, but Anthony has moved away and even snubs him on many occasions. The story of the film starts with Anthony, who's an upcoming director, whose first film was a major hit, and now he's stuck with the climax of his second film. His producer Baby has been waiting for him to finish writing for the past 2 years. Anthony has a huge writer's block and is not able to write and finish the climax. Baby comes to his apartment and sees the clutter, the dirt, and how badly the apartment is kept. He advises Anthony to go home, which is about 200 kilometers away, and tells him to write the climax there, and that will be better for Anthony. So Anthony goes home. In his home live his grandfather, his father, his mother, and his younger brother. 3 generations live in that house. His grandfather is an old man and walks with the help of a walker. He often loses his memory. On and off he keeps losing his memory. But he speaks some random sentences. Only in the climax we come to know that he is actually quoting from the book Oliver Twist. He was very fond of English classics, and so he names his children after those books. Like Oliver Twist is the elder son, Peter Pan was the younger son, and his daughter was named as Mary Poppins. Oliver is a simple man who once owned a cassette shop, and then he closed it as he could not catch up with the technology boom. He is basically technologically challenged. He tries to gain the affection of his son Anthony, but at every step he fails. Anthony has a girlfriend Priya, and both families want to get them married as soon as possible. Oliver's producer gives him exactly 1 week time to finish the script and narrate it to the hero Vishal. Here Vishal is played by Anup Menon. He comes in a small cameo, but he is so charming. Anthony narrates the story to Vishal, but Vishal actually is not impressed with it, and he asks him to rework on the script. Oliver is very frustrated. Every time he starts to write, there is a notification on his mobile, and he spends so much time looking at the various apps rather than working on a script. Basically, he doesn't realize that his smartphone addiction is what is blocking his mind from writing. His younger brother Charles is a budding YouTuber and is busy with his likes and dislikes. Oliver is the central character of the film. He buys a he buys a smartphone actually, but does not know how to use it. He asks his younger son Charles to teach him. Charles tells him that a smartphone, that is the usage of a smartphone, cannot be taught. It has to be learnt by one's own self. He messes up with his FB account, which goes live, where his son is actually abusing the hero, Vishal, and this lands Anthony in a huge problem. And Oliver becomes an embarrassed father. He wants to tell his son an extraordinary incident which happened in his childhood. Anthony listens half-heartedly and doesn't even seem to believe it, and Oliver is very disappointed. He goes and tells his friend Suryan about this, and Suryan says, maybe you didn't narrate it properly. That is why he wouldn't have liked it. Maybe you didn't mention me in the story, and all those things. In the climax, there is a book launch of Anthony's would-be father-in-law Joseph. Joseph has actually written his autobiography. And this scene is so touching that it brings tears for sure. If it was a Telugu or a Tamil or even a Hindi film, Anthony would have gone up the stage and told Joseph's mother, played by KPSC Lalita, that the person who saved her son's life was none other than his father, and then he would have called his father onto the stage, and all the audience present in the book launch would have applauded and given a huge applause. But mind you, this is a Malayalam film where there will be drama but no melodrama. So Anthony just looks at his father with tears in his eyes, and Oliver gestures to him not to tell anybody. So beautifully that scene is shot, and how Oliver finally earns the respect of his son, and how Anthony discovers himself is the end of the film. The strong message the film gives us is that if we are addicted to smoking, we know it's an addiction, or to drinking, we know it's an addiction. But if we have a smartphone addiction, we don't even realize that it's an addiction too. And slowly it takes away our precious moments with family, with our near and dear, and causes several side effects like anger, frustration, etc. etc. The scene where Oliver sees his son after a long time and is wanting to talk to him. He's waiting actually to talk to Anthony, but Anthony is busy on a call. Oliver waits for Anthony to reciprocate, but he's so disappointed and silently walks away. Another scene, Oliver is washing Anthony's car and looks up at the balcony where Anthony is seemingly smiling at him. He thinks Anthony is smiling at him, but then slowly he realizes that he is not smiling at him, but he's talking with someone else on the mobile phone. And that makes him very sad. There's a glimpse of disappointment in his eyes. And to add to that injury, Charles comes and asks his father to clean his bike also. There are some cute scenes between Oliver and his friend Surya, and they are simply hilarious. Surya is too much into the internet and he believes everything that is there on the net, more than his wife too. His daughter requests Oliver to take him to a psychologist. This role, that is the role of the psychologist, is played by Vijay Babu himself. Even this track gives us a huge message without being preachy. There is another hilarious scene where Oliver is trying to take a picture. His son's would-be father-in-law Joseph is trying out some clothes and he wants him to take a picture of his. And he struggles with the phone so much, and he doesn't know where to press and what to do, and doesn't know how to turn it towards him. And that scene is really hilarious. He doesn't know how to use the phone, the poor fellow, and we end up laughing so much. The best scene which made me really cry is the scene when Anthony is praising the autobiography of his would-be father-in-law and belittles his father. He says that Oliver has not achieved anything in life. He says it as if he's a failure in life. What has he done after all? He opened a cassette shop and closed it, and now he's just growing vegetables on his terrace garden. Is that an achievement? He asks him. And he says if he starts writing his achievements, it won't even come to maybe half a page. Oliver is so insulted, he feels so hurt that he goes and stands at the gate in the darkness. And when his wife asks him what he's doing there, he pretends as if he's driving away a stray dog. He emotes so well that we feel like giving a tight slap to Anthony and put some sense into his head by telling him to respect his dad's feelings. The scene is also shot so beautifully. His face is seen through the gate in the semi-darkness, and the director and the cameraman have shot it so beautifully, so sensitively that we get tears in our eyes. Today, when we go to our teenage or adult children so enthusiastically to tell them something, they are looking at the smartphone and then they say, "Come on, say, I'm listening." But instantly we are disappointed because half the attention is given to the smartphone and we get only half the attention, sometimes not even half. I wonder how the director captured all these moments which are so relatable to all of us. The kids also don't do that on purpose, but it has become a way of life. Kuttiyamma, Oliver's wife too, has given a memorable performance. She, with her knee replacement operation and difficulty in walking and difficulty in climbing the stairs, her walk, her expression, her anger when she sees the teacups in Charles' room and the shabby way in which most youngsters keep their room will be so identifiable with 90% of the mothers. Anthony's character too is understandable. He has a writer's block and is not able to finish the climax. He has other tensions too, like a bank loan to be paid, a girlfriend with whom he is not able to spend quality time, an irate producer who is endlessly waiting after giving a huge advance to a big hero. And since his first film was a huge hit, he has to live up to the expectations for a second film, which is the most difficult thing for an upcoming director. Everybody has their own share of problems, but end of the day, family is the place where we can shout, get angry, and then again be cajoled by our own people. And we often forget this. Now, to sum it all up, I won't be surprised if Indrans receives a national award for this film. The film is a bit too long, 2 hours and 40 minutes, but we don't feel it. Maybe in the second half some scenes could have been trimmed, but you never get bored. We start living in that home along with this family. It is a slice of life, and the small incidents of everyday life are captured so well that we start identifying with them, with all those characters. #home makes you laugh and makes you cry at the same time. Even in the climax, we laugh and cry too. It reminds us of our own childhood if we are grown-ups, and teaches us a lot of things if we are youngsters. After all, the heart is where the home is. You cannot avoid but have an emotional connect with this film. After watching heavy crime thrillers and commercial pot boilers, #home comes as a fresh breath of air. If you haven't watched this yet, please go and watch it on Amazon Prime Videos. If you like our videos and channel, please like and subscribe.